DJ Whiskers and the Melody of Love. DJ Whiskers had conquered the music scene in London, spinning beats that made crowds dance from Camden to Trafalgar Square. But even a cat as cool as DJ Whiskers wasn't immune to the surprises life could throw his way, especially when it came to matters of the heart. It all began one sunny afternoon at a small cafe in Notting Hill. Whiskers had stopped by for a saucer of cream and some quiet time to listen to the city's hum. That's when he heard it, a soft, soulful melody drifting from a violin. Entranced, Whiskers followed the sound to a street performer, a sleek Siamese cat with striking blue eyes named Melody. When she finished her song, Whiskers couldn't help but approach. "That was beautiful," he said, his tail swishing nervously. Melody smiled. "Thank you. I've heard about you, DJ Whiskers. Your beats are legendary." From that moment, the two became inseparable. They explored London's parks, shared tunes under the stars, and even performed together at intimate gigs. Melody's violin and Whiskers' beats blended perfectly, creating a sound that was as unique as their bond. For the first time in his life, Whiskers felt like he'd found someone even more important than music. Just as their love began to bloom, an opportunity knocked on Whiskers' door, a European tour that would take him to Paris, Berlin, Rome, and beyond. It was a dream come true, but it came with a price. The tour would last 6 months, and Melody couldn't join him. She had her own commitments in London, teaching young musicians and composing for a community orchestra. "You have to go," Melody said one evening, her voice soft but firm. "This is your chance to share your music with the world." Whiskers nodded, though his heart ached. "I'll miss you every single day." "And I'll miss you," she said, nuzzling him gently. "But we'll keep our music alive, no matter how far apart we are." The tour began in Paris, where Whiskers played at a grand venue beneath the Eiffel Tower. The crowd roared with excitement, but as the night ended and he returned to his hotel, he felt a pang of loneliness. He opened his phone to see a message from Melody, a recording of her playing a new melody she'd composed just for him. "I call it the Wandering Heart," the message read, "to keep you company while you're away." Whiskers listened to the tune on repeat, feeling as if Melody were right there beside him. Inspired, he incorporated her melody into his next performance in Berlin, blending her violin notes with his electronic beats. The crowd adored it, but more importantly, it made Whiskers feel connected to her. As the tour went on, Whiskers faced many challenges. Late nights, long travels, and the pressure to keep the energy high took their toll. There were moments when he felt like giving up, especially when the homesickness became too much. But every time he doubted himself, a new message from Melody would appear, reminding him why he was doing this. "Remember, Whiskers," one message read, "you're not just playing music, you're sharing your soul with the world, and I'm with you every step of the way." 6 months later, the tour finally ended with a grand finale in Rome. As Whiskers played his last set, the crowd's cheers filled the night sky, but his mind was already racing ahead to London. The very next morning, he boarded the earliest train, his heart pounding with excitement. When he arrived at Notting Hill, he found Melody waiting for him at the cafe where they'd first met. She held her violin, and her smile was as warm as ever. "Welcome home, DJ Whiskers," she said. Whiskers grinned, his tail swishing with joy. "I've got something for you." He pulled out his turntable and played a track he'd created during the tour. It was a love song, blending the sounds of the cities he'd visited with the melody Melody had sent him. As the music played, Melody picked up her violin and joined in, their music intertwining once more. The crowd at the cafe gathered to listen, their applause ringing out as the final note faded. For Whiskers and Melody, it was more than just a performance. It was a celebration of their love and the journey that had only just begun. From that day on, DJ Whiskers and Melody became a duo, traveling the world together and creating music that touched hearts everywhere. They proved that no distance could keep true love apart, and that when two souls harmonize, their melody can overcome any challenge.